Goodbye, Northern Ireland. Hello, Denmark. Welcome to episode 5 of this Football Manager 2021 Journeyman series. Over the past 3 years, I've resided in Northern Ireland. I was in charge of Tobermoor United. But at the end of episode 4, I decided to resign. I thought it was time to move on and start a new adventure. And over the past month or so, I've been searching for a new job. And I've finally been offered the job at BK Marienlyst, affectionately known as BK Marienlyst according to Wikipedia. Not 100% sure I'm getting the pronunciation correct. Apologies to any Marienlyst fans or anyone from Denmark. They compete in the 4th division, the 4th tier of Danish football, called 3. Division on Football Manager 2021. That's not the official name. I've not installed real badges or names or face packs. Plain vanilla. I might install them at some point. This is the badge for those of you that are interested though. Big BM, nice white and red theme. And I'm looking forward to it. A 1-star regional reputation club, semi-professional, 2,500 seater stadium as you can see there. And for those of you, once again, interested in geography, I did it for Tobermoor United, so I'll do it for Marienlyst as well. This is where they're located. The city or town of Odense, in this little bubble island in the middle of Denmark, between the island that Copenhagen's on and sort of the mainland. So hoping to do the people of this town proud by taking control of their club. There might be more than one club here actually, I don't know. Let's have a look on Wikipedia, shall we, at Odense. Here we go. It's the 3rd largest city in Denmark. I didn't know that, to be honest. Denmark is one of the places I really would like to visit one day. It's probably on my top 5 places actually that I would really like to go for a real life adventure to, not just play Football Manager there. You're probably wondering why I decided to go for this team. There are plenty of other jobs. I did contemplate going to the 2nd tier of Wales. I contemplated going to the 2nd division, or I don't really know what tier that is in Sweden, but I contemplated going to Sweden. The Irish 2nd tier as well. Applied for quite a few jobs and I had a couple interviews, but I decided to go with Marienlyst simply because it was actually quite a big challenge. They've just been promoted from sort of the non-league, I suppose, of Denmark. I think that's correct. The other club that was available was Herlev, who I think have better infrastructure in place, but I really liked some of the players available. Now the team is tiny. I've just taken charge. Hardly any players, but I really like the look of this striker. And we do love a good striker in this series. We've had Jordan Thompson, of course, who I would ideally like to bring to Denmark, if he's willing to come. But yeah, the team really is very small. We're probably going to have to rely on quite a few youngsters. As you can see, there are some Danish regions in here. Quite like the look of this goalkeeper, Tobias Jule. We'll just have to make sure he's not too busy vaping in goal rather than keeping the ball at the back of the net. B team. There's plenty of youngsters in there. We'll have a look at the squad that I put together when I skip ahead a couple months. Here we go then. It's now the 6th of August 2023. It's the start of the Danish season. It's not been a great pre-season. We won our first game but have lost every single game since then. I didn't show you where we were predicted to finish. At the very start, we were predicted to finish bottom, below Herlev. But for whatever reason, we're now both 150 to 1 to win the league. We are expected to go down. The rules are a bit bizarre. I think we play half the season and then we go into a promotion/relegation split. I suppose it's similar in a way to Scotland and also Northern Ireland. So I'm used to this now. But yeah, we play this many games, however many that is, and then it splits off. I've just noticed the real badges are actually available for most of the teams. So Football Manager must have the licence for them, but because Marienlyst have just been promoted from the division below, the badge doesn't actually exist on the game. That doesn't matter. That's just details. Financially, we've got tons of money, and I don't know why. It might be because we've been promoted from the division below and there's some sort of weird glitch, because this doesn't really make any sense to me. I've been given a massive transfer budget, but once again, there's not really much point spending money. I mean, Larson is on an actual contract until the end of December, and there's a couple other players, but most of the players are just on these non-playing contract things. Made plenty of transfers, as you can see. I needed to. We had such a tiny squad, but actually I haven't made that many. Thinking about it, only 4. most of the players have been promoted from the B team. But we'll go through the squad in a second. I'll just quickly show you the transfers, I suppose. And there might continue to be more transfers throughout the season. So we've brought in this chap who can play centre-back. We've brought in Kolaski, who can play central midfield, 15 years old. Now, I didn't realise I couldn't actually play 15-year-olds. They're too young. They have to turn 16 before I play them. So I've brought in a couple of 16-year-olds that aren't actually going to be available to play. An Icelandic central midfielder, he can play because he's 16. But yeah, there's 2 players in the first team that can't play. Let's just quickly whiz through the squad then. Jewel is going to be my number 1 goalkeeper. I think Ashburn will probably be one of the centre-backs. I'll show you the tactic in a second that I'm going to try and go with. It's weak at the back, I think. Apart from Andreasen, he can play left back. He's got a decent star rating. Whether I can believe this or not, it depends on my assistant. And I don't actually have an assistant. Deja vu from Northern Ireland. I can't find an assistant manager. One of the rules, remember, is I click on here and then go place advert and then look for a staff member. So that's why I can't find an assistant, because no one's applying for the job. But I do have a few other coaches. So these star ratings are based on whatever my top coach thinks. I've digressed a bit. Okay, Mikkelsen, also another left back. We've got Vest, Alexander Vest, great name. He can play right back, left back, right midfield, various positions. I've already shown Koleski. Marcus Weiss is my best central midfielder, possibly the best player at the club. Not bad. He's actually pretty good, I think, for this level. Good passing, vision, off the ball, first touch, work rate. Should be decent for us. Bjarnson, the Icelandic. We've got Holst, Soren Holst, looking to compose some chances from the right wing. Frogner, who I've made captain because of his leadership, but he's not really going to be first choice. He's one of these regens that just pops up. 26 years old, from Norway. Bergtoft, 16-year-old attacking midfielder who I did inherit. Then we've got Korsgaard, who I think I promoted from the B team by the looks of it. He can play up front. We've got lots of players that can play up front. Pulisic as well, 16-year-old. We've got so many youngsters I've had to promote from the B team. Lingard, with a different spelling. Victor Lingard. Christensen, another young striker. This is the main man up front, Jeppe Baylarsen. I think he can be the Jordan Thompson of Marienlyst. He's just brilliant finishing, off the ball, okay composure. There's a little bit of pace to him, particularly acceleration, decent heading as well. And he can dribble, so I think he could be dangerous. And lastly, Rune Christensen, another 16-year-old. It's why I moved to this team. I looked at the first team, looked at the B team. There's lots of youngsters in there. And it's good fun managing regens. As you know, those of you that have been around since the Regen Rovers days on my channel will know I do like to have these fake players. And the faces are much better this year. I do like the faces. They're a bit more realistic. So tactically, what am I going to be going with for this first season? Hopefully not my only season at Marienlyst, but time will tell. I've not had a good pre-season. As you can see, the team has either got some exceptionally talented players in comparison to... Well, I don't know if this is comparison to the rest of the team. We'll have to have a look at my team report compared to the rest of the league. But yeah, we're going to be heavily relying on Jewel, Weiss and Larson, I think, this season, unfortunately. I'm going with a 3 at the back. Well, 5 at the back if you include the wing-backs. So go a 5-2-1-2 formation. Vertical tiki-taka. I just tried to play to the strengths of the squad, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I just don't really have much squad depth, so I think I'm going to have to sign some players at some point. Can I compare my team to the rest of the league these days? We're not able to do that anymore. Maybe we can't do that anymore. Oh, comparison. Oh, here we go. It's here. Let's have a look at all positions. I mean, it's not too bad, I don't think. Defensively, perhaps a bit weak in quite a few places. Midfield... Yeah, it's either we're quite high above this average line or well below or the worst at certain things. So I have no idea how this season is going to go. We're predicted to finish in the relegation places. But that was the case with Tobermoor United. And we did pretty well, didn't we? So perhaps I can pleasantly surprise the fans and the media this season. We shall see. Well, I'll be honest, it hasn't gone to plan. 9 games into this season... 2 points. We've drawn 2 games and lost 7. Minus 13 goal difference. 2 points. Yeah, this is harder than I thought it would be. Tactically, it's just not really working. The squad isn't good enough. I've signed some more players to try and improve the team. Jacobson, Badelson, but mainly youngsters again. That's the thing. I can only seem to bring in youngsters who aren't really benefiting the team. Xavi, a 16-year-old defender, and this 18-year-old midfielder. It's not great. So if you look at the results, look at this. I haven't won a game since my first friendly. 3-1 defeat, 2-1 defeat, 2-0, 4-0, 2-1, 2-1, 3-1, 2-1. We do tend to score, and most recently 1-1 and 1-1. I've been fiddling around with the tactics, trying to find a formula that works. I might be doing something completely wrong here. I'm a bit rusty with tactics. I just stumbled on something that worked with Tobermoor United. Good old 4-4-2. But yeah, this just isn't working. Larson, as I predicted, is the one glimmer of hope. 6 goals in 10 games this season, as you can see there. He's a good finisher. In fact, look at this. The last 6 games, he has scored in every single game, with no one else scoring for us. This is the goal that most recently won us a point, bundled in. Not the most attractive goal, but an important goal. But I suspect I might not be here very long. I just don't see how I can fully turn this around. Where's the thing where I can see how I'm performing? I've got a C, which isn't bad, so maybe I won't be sacked. Unless things continue to go badly. There's still a long way to go, but I do seem to have turned the corner a little bit. 2nd of December 2023. I've won a game. I've won 3 games. I have turned the corner a little bit. We're still bottom of the table. Jeppe Bay Larson is still continuing to be my one shining light, and without him we would be in a disastrous... Well, we are in a disastrous position, but we'd be in an even more disastrous position. 18 games played, 3 wins, 3 draws, 12 points. We've managed to catch up with 11th. We're not too far behind 9th and 10th, but there's absolutely no chance we're going to finish in the playoff places, well, the promotion places. We've got 4 games left before the division splits, I believe. But there's this weird winter break now. Looking at this club vision thing, I've got an E. I might be sacked. I don't know. It's the 2nd of December. We've now got the winter break. I suppose it would be a sensible time to bring a new manager in and try and keep the club up. But I feel like I have improved the squad. Larson's got 16 goals in 19 games. He is definitely my Jordan Thompson, but the Danish version. Only 21 as well, which is good. I mean, I did try to sign Jordan Thompson. You're probably wondering, that's the wrong Jordan Thompson. Probably wondering how he's getting. I mean, Larson is a better player looking at his attributes. And Tobermoor are struggling without me, I'll be honest. They're down in, they're bottom, 14 points, and Jordan Thompson just isn't doing it. And I did actually offer him a contract, but when I go to approach to sign, he says, I would be very interested in joining the club, but I feel that the club lacks the financial muscle to even get... But the thing is, I can actually offer more money here than I could at Tobermoor United. I can actually offer part-time contracts that pay decently, much better than Northern Ireland. So I'm not sure why that happened. I tried to sign a couple, McVeigh, Wilson, just when I wanted to approach some Tobermoor United players to try and get them in. I haven't changed the form. Oh no, I have changed the formation. I've put defensive midfielder up, haven't I? What did I have before? I can't remember. Either way, I have tweaked things, and yeah, it has improved. But now we've got this massive gap until these 4 games. Well, I wasn't exactly expecting that. I'm not surprised that they've got rid of me, but literally 1 day later, just continued a day, and I've been sacked by Marienlyst. I was in charge for 6 months. I won 3 games, which was awful. But I don't know, I was hopeful that I could turn it around and at least not finish bottom, but yeah, I don't get to play those 4 games after all. I've been sacked. So this is a 1 episode club, I'm afraid. The Journeyman journey continues, and perhaps I'm going to be leaving Denmark now. 1 episode in Denmark. Maybe I will return in the future. I just want this series and this save to be fun, and I was really struggling, to be honest, with Marienlyst. Thinking about it, up until this first draw, I just thought this is awful, and I was just sort of churning out the games and being fairly close to getting something. And eventually, when we did pick up a couple points, we then went and lost, but we got that first win eventually on the 22nd of October. But but it obviously wasn't enough for the board. So I have been sacked, and that's the end of the Marienlyst adventure, possibly the Danish adventure. I've already applied for a couple jobs, as you may have noticed here. I'm tempted by Iceland. I am tempted by Iceland. If I just show you, because at the moment I think it's the end of the Icelandic season, so which starts in spring. So it could be a good chance to jump over there. There's Wales as well. There's Cardiff Met Uni, which is tempting. And then there's teams that I just won't be able to pronounce. Llanelli Town, Colwyn Bay, I know that. Barry Island, Bangor City. But there are a few teams I'd be worried about just completely murdering the pronunciation. Having said that, I may have done that with Marienlyst. Maybe it's Marienlyst or Marienlyst. But yeah, I'm sad to leave a couple of these players. I really like Jeppe Bay Larsen. Jewel in goal for me was pretty good. So maybe if I move to Iceland, I can attempt them across the water up to the north. We shall see. But yeah, that's it. Sorry. That's the end of today's episode 5. Those of you from Denmark at the start of the episode were thinking, yes, you've moved to Denmark. You've never managed here before. I have never managed here before. 18 games it lasted. Well, 18 league games it lasted, I'm afraid. That's it. But thank you for watching. As I said, I might return to Denmark at some point. Perhaps when I've improved a bit, I can move to a higher division. It'd be great to manage in the top flight of Denmark. I do plan on returning. As I said, this is a fun save. I'm going to be moving around teams. It's going to be a long-term save. That's the plan. It could last all year for me. And I might end up managing in these nations multiple times. As I said before, though, England, I think, will be sort of the end goal. I'd like to manage in all these nations, possibly multiple times before moving to England. I think Iceland is the next sensible step, and there's a couple jobs available. So maybe you'll see me over there in episode 6. Until next time, enjoy FM21, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you very soon.